Jhin is the perfect champion in League, making him the perfect character in Arcane. Today I'm going to explain why I believe Jhin would have a part to play in one of the future episodes. I will take into account 4 different pieces of lore. The biography, which mentions his presence in Piltover and Zone, which I will assume it is canon until it isn't, because you know what they said about stories and whatnot.
Short stories in particular are something we've deliberately moved away from.
Next up is the Awaken cinematic, but I need to preface this by showing you what the developers say about the cinematics being canon to the overall lore.
So let's talk about some examples of that. The moments shown in past season start cinematics, like Awaken for example, those have often felt like they should be canon, and some of them are fully consistent with the wider world, but some of them aren't. Going forwards, including the upcoming cinematic in just a few months, we're going to be making sure that they're an integrated part of our world and storytelling.
As you can see, they don't mention which cinematic is consistent and which isn't. Personally, I feel like they don't know either. So I will assume the segments involving Jhin are canon. Strengthening this claim is the third piece of lore, which is the comic book related to him, which shows scenes of him being present in Piltover and Zone. And the final one is one of his voice lines.
I've been asked to do so many boring performances in your nation.
This obviously means he was hired by Noxians for different targets. Now let's draw a timeline. For that we need to look at another character, which is Camille, who based on her lore is augmented by Hextech, which at the moment is a storyline under development in Arcane. So the Awaken cinematic takes place sometimes in the future. And based on trivia, we know that the comic takes place after that, which means the invasion of Ionia already happened, otherwise there are slim chances for Jhin to be hired for killings inside of Noxus. Now let's make a theory on who could hire him and what reason. I don't think Mel's mother could hire him, I feel like she's much more tied to the conquest in Shurima, but Jhin could be the one to take her out, because we already know she has some bad blood with Swain. Another target could very well be Jinx, if he is in Piltover by the time she uses the rocket. Who knows if that isn't an impulse for him to try and get her to play in his performance. But at the same time, he could be hired to take her out on behalf of Noxus to bring stability and a reason for them to take over. One thing is clear, they could 100% add him to the show at one point if the focus remains on Piltover and Zone. So what do you think? Or let me ask you this way, would you like to see Jhin in Arcane? If yes, leave a comment after subscribing to the channel. Thanks.